Hey guys, Kat here. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'll be sharing with you 3 of my latest training sessions, and there were a lot of wins. Hopefully you guys walk away with maybe some inspiration and some tips for your own journey. Firstly though, usually we start with my warm-up, but I decided not to film that this time because I'm like, I've shown this so many times, and I think I might just film a follow along. So if you guys are interested in that, I can totally do that. After my initial warm up and before going into full handstand work, I worked on my frog stand, getting my wrist ready, really focusing on pressing into the ground, activating my shoulders, and making sure I am breathing. And then a very exciting thing happened in my handstand training this time. I was able to get a pelvic tilt and feel it. This is something I was never able to feel upside down before. I know it might be small, but to me, this is a huge victory. I was so excited about this. And so I brought my watch with me and I tried to have a handstand hold against the wall for at least 30 seconds each time, which is still very challenging for me, but I can start to really feel the difference of my handstand hold. So it's really, really awesome. In between sets of the handstand, I went and did these kind of pseudo single arm dead hangs where I still have my feet on the ground. So it's not too much grip strength, but it's more so focusing on the stretch for my bicep, my tricep, my shoulders, my lats, and a bit of my forearms as well. I finished my last 2 sets of handstand against the wall, and on my first one, I realized looking at the footage that I could really get my hands close to the wall so that way I could open up my chest more. It's always so fascinating to be upside down because it feels like you're doing it right, and then you look at the footage and you are very quickly humbled and realize you weren't doing it right. I made sure for the second round to bring my hands even closer, focus on tucking in my pelvis and opening up my shoulders. So it's a lot of thought process, but we are getting there. Then another win was these tuck planche swings I learned from that Chris Heria video. And I was able to do 15 reps for 3 sets. So I was really, really happy with that. And the biggest win was really feeling like I could bring my hips up higher and not exactly hold the position, but I could feel that slight half-second air time with each rep. So that is still very much a victory to me. And yeah, just being able to bring my hips up, because that is so hard for me to attempt to do in a tuck planche right now. I felt this in my core so much, and that was really awesome as well. In between sets of those, I used 2 different kinds of rollers to get my back as well as my hip and my lats and my glutes. So this is just a nice way to get rest, but also make progress in other areas in my fitness. Oh, so I was playing around with the rig and different positions, which sounds really funny, but I found that if I hold onto the bar and really press into the rig, I can get this amazing side stretch. So I just recommend this stretch. Lastly, I finished out with some V-set attempts, and it definitely did not feel as strong as my other days, and that's okay. This was at the end of my workout, and I tried my best, so that's all that matters. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys how I've been including walks every single day. And I usually do about 2 to 4 miles either inside or outside. This also allows me time to respond to messages, to write client workouts, and to watch like fun YouTube videos that I want to. Yeah, so I've really been enjoying walking. I had mentioned in a previous video how I hadn't been moving as much, and it's a little bit harder too when it's Wisconsin winter time, but I've been making sure I get these walks in, and it's been helping a lot mentally, but I do notice a bit of difference physically as well in my physique. So that's been really nice, just like adding more movement into my day, because after a workout and like working, you know, sometimes I just want a potato. So I've been trying to get the walk in before I work. That leads us to the next day, which I started out with the regular warm-up, and then I did this compression handstand movement that I had learned from the video I had posted last time. And it was way better. Maybe it's because, you know, didn't have my shoes on. But I also really focused on leaning forward more, trying to stack my hips a little bit more over my shoulders, just a tiny bit, and really being on as much of my tippy toes as I possibly could. Of course, I'm not where the instructor was, but this is actually an improvement from last time. Then it was back to handstand, and I was able to get that pelvic tilt again. I was really happy with that. Once again, I did 5 sets for the handstand to just get my reps in, practice, really pressing into the ground with my hands and focusing on gripping the ground with my fingers. That's been a huge thing for me as of recently. Next up, I did these pseudo planche leans, and this was fascinating to me because it's very small cues that I am working on, but in my first round, my hips are definitely still a bit higher than I'd like them to be, as well as my mid back is rounding more than I'd like it to. I really like just the rounding more so in those scapular muscles. So first round was a little bit rougher. I also tried to tuck my feet, and it was very hard for me to do that. So I went to my toes. But then for my second round, I realized if I put my feet together and kind of squish them together, I'm able to hold them in that position with the bottoms of the feet facing towards the ceiling. And after that, for my last round, I was able to get even farther of a lean. And I took a screenshot of all the different sets that I did, and I noticed there was quite a bit of progress. Like by the third set, my hips were lower, I was leaning forward more, and I was engaging my core a bit more, as well as I feel like I was really getting that nice protraction for my shoulders rather than dumping it more into my mid back. So there's definitely progress there. That's why I can't recommend enough to just film yourself, because there's so many things that I think feel right, and then I look at the footage and I'm like, wow, that was so bad actually. So definitely recommend filming yourself. Then I wanted to have a bit of kettlebell fun. So as I was talking with Tyler, I did some fun movements, and I did 3 sets of each of these movements. As it was Wednesday, the flow group came by and we had so much fun with lightsabers and these blaze pods where you have to turn it off by tapping it. And our lightsaber color matched the light that we needed to tap. It was super fun. We needed to hit this bag twice and then go to our light. And the cardio definitely was there. It was just a really, really wonderful time. If you don't have a flow group that you can hang out with, oh, I recommend that you try to form one yourself, because just to be able to play and to brainstorm with others is so much fun, with no expectation and just pure joy. And during this, of course, it happened to me, but one of the blaze pods fell off and it hit my head. Unfortunately, it hit right where I have this little mole on my head, so it was a bit more painful than it needed to be, but I was totally fine. Yeah, it was just a really good time though. Okay, so that leads us to today. And once again, I started out with those compressions and they felt even better than the day before. And I was able to, I feel, press into my shoulders even more this time and get better confidence into leaning forward and bringing my feet up, my heels up even higher. I also did more reps. I did 16 total instead of the 12 I was doing. So I'm really, really happy with that progress. And after this, I feel it so much in my mid back. It's wild, but I'm gonna keep working at it. I definitely feel it in my mid back less than when I first started doing these. So that's awesome. And then of course I went into handstand training. Okay, so this is actually super fascinating to me because now what's happening is it's like my body is so eagerly wanting to get into a handstand that I'm getting a bit of airtime, and it'll be just like a second at a time, but it's without me even being like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try to bring my feet off. My feet just come off and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So yeah, it's kind of just like happening now, which is really cool. And I know getting those reps of just those 1 second holds and focusing on balancing on my fingers, like really gripping the ground, that's going to add up. And I'm definitely noticing a difference in getting a straighter spine than I used to before. So this is huge progress. I'm very excited about this. And I'm just gonna, just keep continuing on with it, cranking them out, while also listening to my body. Oh, another fascinating thing about training for planche. Okay, I decided to try the Pseudo planche lean push-ups. And okay, the first round, mind you, this is really messy. And once again, I'm like, okay, I think I'm doing it right, but I'm not sure. But as you can see, my mid back is rounding way too much. I'm not focusing enough on bringing my hips forward, getting that pelvic tilt, activating my core, and I'm not squeezing my quads as much as I need to. So this was really, really important for me to look at the footage and realize, and I'm like, that just doesn't look right to me. So then I looked up on YouTube, of course, a tutorial, and I found this guy. And this is how it's actually supposed to look when you press up. And notice how it's just that protraction of the shoulders, not the mid-back too. So I focused on that on the second round. And this went way better. You can definitely see the difference in just getting that protraction for the shoulders. I did try to lean forward a little bit more and was like, nope, too soon. So no, I'm not leaning forward like a ton, but this is where I'm at right now. And I did 3 sets of 8 reps. The third round went, I feel, even better. So yeah, I was really happy with that. I can't yet have my feet where I'm on the top of the foot yet in these. I did try that, but that's okay. This is still progress. With all the anterior delt work, I always try to make sure to get some rear delt and back work. So I added these wide pulls again. I did 3 sets of 15. And then I realized I have never tried L-sit without parallettes. I thought about it and then I got scared and I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. So I tried it today and I was able to do it. However, not for a long time. It was like, I think it's 10 seconds for the first round. And then I got like 7 seconds the second round. And I think 8 seconds the third round. And I was so, of course, humbled as usual. And my quads jumped in way more than they should have. So this is definitely something for me to work on more. I finished this workout with some single arm dead hangs and I timed it this time so you can see me holding my watch. I did 30 seconds on each arm and I did this 2 times. Yesterday I had suggested to Justin that we have like bands going across the room to duck under in the game. And so he actually made it and he set it up. So we played around with that right before I left and the cardio was awesome. I mean, this was just such a fun game. All right, a lot of victories. I was really excited. I hope you guys were excited too. I hope you guys learned something from my video. And please do like before you go. Please do comment and subscribe before you go, as well as follow me at Kitty Valkyrie on Instagram if you want to. And I hope to hear from you guys. Let me know what you're working on and all the things. I hope you get to go outside. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you soon.